My name is Nadia Ivanova. I am a women's and menswear designer. I'm originally from Bulgaria, but I have lived in Chicago since '98, and during that time I have also lived in London for a bit and traveled around the world. I believe that having traveled to so many different places has introduced me to different cultures and languages and art, and I've molded myself to think that my work has inspiration, and inspiration can come from anything. My inspiration comes from anything like music, art, culture, architecture. Architecture is something that I've always wanted to do as well, and I do apply that in my clothing. I can show you some of my things, like for instance, this right here, it's a 8-piece collection that was inspired by Christo's work and the wrappings of different objects. It was particularly the wrappings of the trees in the park. So I ended up using draping this on the dress form and just making everything very round and having different pattern pieces around. And I also surprise everyone by using unorthodox fabrics. They're all natural fibers, but they're not typically meant for clothing. They're more meant for couches and chairs and pillows, upholstery fabric. And something else that I've always done was charity shows. I have this huge passion to help out children in the world, and one of the collections that I did is right here, and it's all inspired by how children are shot and abused during war and what type of life they go through. And what I did was I burned magazines and I ironed them on, so the fabric is treated, it has ashes on them, and I've used different wraps from different regions that I've boiled. That's more of the avant-garde part of my work, but I also do ready-to-wear, and that's basically simplifying my garments. And this is one of the examples where I use very classic shapes, and I use natural fibers. This is 4-ply silk, and having different challenging patchwork on it, like the circle around and the belt, this patch. I also like doing a lot of pleat work, so it's actually a jersey dress, which I found extremely challenging to do more of like a tailored fit, but it's pleated, and there's another example of a pleated top. I've started my own label, Nadia, about 3 years ago, but officially been in business for about a year. And I've done everything by myself, from production, designing, and marketing. And one of the most challenging things that I found is actually getting people to buy your line for different stores. I have no problem presenting my work or talking about my work, but the problem is that people or buyers are not necessarily interested in new designers because they would be taking a risk of selling the things in their boutiques. But I have done so I've gotten a few stores in the last year just by going and knocking on doors. It's just a very slow process, and it's been very difficult. And of course, marketing costs money, and financially, starting your own business without big capital is very difficult. So I've been struggling with that, but I keep going. I do not get discouraged at all. I have great support from my family. It's always, whatever I do, my family's there 100%, and without them, I wouldn't have been doing anything at all. I cannot explain myself in one word. I'm too complex for that.